Hello everyone, it's the Canadian Wi-Fi here. Okay, so this is going to be episode 69 of the road to 10,000. I'm so immature, just saying the number makes me giggle. So there's been a few things going on in me life the last 2 or 3 days or week that have made me unable to record videos at the same rate as I am used to. So I'll get into those in this video. I think setup wise, I'll be back when I figure something out. Okay, I'm not in the mood for bullshit today, so I'm just gonna rock the all blue setup. And we're spectating. Let's take a quick peek at today's lobby. Fantastic. I'll see you guys back in just un moment. Okie dokie. So, I guess I should just kind of start at the start. I'm not really gonna go into the whole I ruined my daily upload streak at like 65 or something like that. That was more due to internet troubles than anything. I went to upload the video that morning, and for some reason the bandwidth was just not there for me that day. I was streaming the Leaf game the night before, the hockey game. It was the first game of the season, and it was pretty bad. Like, it was maybe like 20 frames a second when it was good, and at other times it was just a slideshow. Like, but I could hear the audio, and generally the replay covered any kind of goal that I missed. The real problem was that morning, I guess my roommates were still up streaming Netflix or something weird, because I was able to play online, but when I went to upload the video, it was literally 95,000 minutes remaining, which I did the math is about 65 days. So I obviously decided, you know what, this video is not going up, and I didn't upload. I had to wait until I got home. I'm at my parents' house right now, actually, and the reason for that is because the Blue Jays were playing, but that is besides the point. It's also reading week, so I mean, whether the Jays were playing and we had tickets or not, I would have been at home. My setup right now is actually a little weird. I forgot an HDMI cable. Like, I brought home one too few. So right now I have an HDMI cable connecting my computer to the TV I'm using as a monitor, and I have an HDMI cable connecting my Wii U to the Elgato, but I don't have one to connect the Elgato to another screen. So right now I'm playing this on my gamepad as a monitor. So it's a little weird. I've never played it on such a tiny screen. I literally have my computer and OBS going in the background, and in front of my eyes is this tiny little screen, and it's very weird. Like I said, I haven't played on the gamepad as a TV screen. I've played on it like in my hands, but I haven't used the gamepad as a TV screen before. So, I hate having to do that. It's so slow. But if you fail the cut, there's no other way to go. At least we get a bunch of coins because they're all gonna be right here. Pulled a shroom, which helps propel. Anyway, so last week, I still haven't had a chance to talk about this, actually. Fuck. Okay, hold that down. Not playing well. Not playing well at all. What happened? Alright, dead last, but at least we're on cheese. Yeah, this is hard. Because, like, I want to, and my eyes are telling me to look up at the big monitor, but the big monitor is like 3 seconds behind, so obviously that's no bueno. If I look up at my TV screen, I'm not going to be playing well. I'll be playing with fucking a 3-second delay. That's not exactly how you want to play Mario Kart. So I'm forced to look at this tiny little screen, and it's kind of bad. Anyway, I need shrooms here, or I'm going to get a very poor place. As I managed to snipe a neutral position of 6, it's kind of neat. Cheese land for ya. So yeah, today's just basically going to be a talkie episode, and a talkie episode with a super heavy Blue Falcon, trying to get the points back that I lost from last time when I used the old steering wheel. Anyway, and then I believe the video went up, the one where I used motion controls, like, I don't know, man. Just, I know that I've been really inconsistent, and I'm not even quite sure what videos have been going up when, so it's been really unlike how I've been playing recently. Or uploading, at the very least. Anyway, I guess with 3 races to go, I can start talking about what I wanted to talk about in this episode, which is the IRL events that I've been seeing at the Skydome last little bit. First one is I went to the Taylor Swift concert on October the 3rd, and it was absolutely incredible. I mean, I might as well start with the good news for this episode, because you might be able to hear it in my voice. I'm not exactly, I want to say I'm not in a good mood, but I'm just energy-wise and just disappoint across my entire brain right now still. Look at all these blue falcons. Beautiful. What a beauty sight. Anyway, so yeah, I went and saw her on the 3rd of October at the Sky Dome in Toronto. Absolutely incredible. Like, everything I could have wanted. She didn't really miss any songs. Like, and by miss I mean like play them away I wouldn't want them to be played. Like, she really did them well. Did them justice, I suppose is the expression I'm looking for. It was absolutely incredible, and very happy I went and saw that. Alright, I can kind of relax now. And first, missed those coins, which is shitty. And it sounds like the guy in 4th pulled trip reds, because I've been seeing a lot of red alarms and hearing people fall behind me. But anyway, yeah, I've been looking forward to that concert for almost an entire year, and it did not disappoint. I've been following Taylor Swift since about 2011, and her music is, I don't want to say all I listen to, because I do listen to a bunch of EDM and just classic rock in general. But it's a large part of what I listen to, and to be able to see her live was really good. She killed it. She did absolutely amazingly, and yeah, it was just a really fun night. As I've missed the glider trick both times, and somehow the guy in 1st ended up with double shrooms, and I'm getting redded again. Okay, good. I would have been pretty upset, actually. Good thing I pulled a coin, though, in 2nd. As I missed a hop there, but it basically ensures me to get the SMT there. So I'm not going to come 1st, obviously. The guy in 1st has trip shrooms. And I just got redded and pulled another coin. Jesus Christ. Now I remember why I haven't played this game in a while. Bumping's one reason. Jeez, come on, man. Gotta stay in front of the guy with the piranha, and I didn't. Oh my god. Now I'm gonna get starred. I'm gonna get starred. Ended up with 6th because I was able to race a bullet in the start of the line. Holy crap. I'm lucky that 6th place gives me 10 points in this godforsaken lobby. Otherwise, ugh. Anyway, that was on last weekend, and I don't think I missed an upload because of that. I think I uploaded prior to and recorded around said thing, so there were no interruptions. And then this weekend, on the Thursday, today is Saturday. I'm actually recording this, by the way, at 11 a.m. and right after this recording is done, I'm going to throw it in Vegas, upload it immediately, and just set it to public. So this might be the most immediate upload to recording video that has ever happened in this road to 10,000. It's literally being recorded about an hour before you guys see it. Anyway, on Thursday this week, I ended up heading home. I think Thursday was the day where I couldn't upload either, so it worked out well for me. Headed home back to my parents' house, specifically because the Jays had their first playoff game in 22 years. I was not alive. I have literally in my life, it would have been impossible for me, even if I followed baseball from the day I popped out of the womb, for me to ever see the Blue Jays in the playoffs. So it was quite special. They didn't play well. And that's about the second thing that I want to touch on in this video. The reasons and just the disappointment, because I don't know. It's the first time, and I don't want to get into it, but it's just the Canada/Toronto team curse. The country, the city, they put so much pressure on the team to perform in the playoffs that it's nearly impossible for the team to A, live up to the pressure, and B, perform, just because there's human beings too, and when you're that pressured to perform, you make simple mistakes that you otherwise wouldn't have made. A great example of that being the first inning in yesterday's game, the game that I actually went to in Toronto. There was like 3 errors by players who had like 2 errors all season. It was just really disappointing to see. Anyway, to get into that though, the first game, one of the main problems was after the Blue Jays, that wasn't good. After the Jays clinched the division, which in baseball is a very big deal because it gives you an automatic playoff spot as opposed to having to play a 1-game elimination game called the wild card. It was their first time they clinched the division since winning it all. I can't see shit. I'm actually going to use that. Literally, I'm playing on the gamepad too, right? So literally my entire vision there. This is so bad. Never play on the gamepad. This lobby is shit. That I just went through a banana. If I could get an item here, that'd be great. I'm just going to use it. I know there's going to be a shock soon, and I don't want to get lightninged. And this will apparently bring me all the way up into 2nd place with a red shell. Oh, don't fail now, baby. I end up with 3rd. I threw the red shell because I knew someone was going to take the cut, but 3rd place is good enough for me. That should give me about a 20 or so points, which is great. Anyway, words. I'm just so out of it today. I don't feel like doing anything. I was supposed to go golfing with a buddy, but I don't think we're gonna go. We're just that. I don't want to say like depressed or anything. It's just you're not feeling anything. You just feel like going back to bed for the week until you get over it. So in the first game, one of the problems was after the Blue Jays clinched the division, they were playing hot. They were doing really well. Like, the Jays so far, since the trading deadline this year when they picked up Tulowitzki, who honestly hasn't even been that big of a part of their season because he's been really terrible since he came to Toronto. It was just kind of the mindset of we now have the best team in the major leagues. And it just helped everyone to click together, and the team played unbelievably well. Down the stretch, they were the best team in baseball. Hands down. They went like 44-12 to end the season. The problem being is that once we clinched the division, the manager decided, okay, you can go party. That's fine. Every team does that. The problem is that they said he said that you guys can go party for 5 games while we put the minor league teams in so you can have time to get drunk, get hungover, recover, relax, rest up. We need you rested for the playoffs. The problem with that is that they get cold. When the Jays rely so much on their offense and their pitching, to have 11 days off for David Price between his last start and his first start in the playoffs, he's used to, as a pitcher, about 5 days between each start. To have 11 days off? How did that hit me? Alright, so I'm losing points in this race. Just whatever. I'm gonna stop talking about Mario Kart because I don't give a fuck about it. To have 11 days off between your starts, that is no other fault than the manager, because he has to know that as a pitcher, it's all about rhythms and it's all about momentum. And to have 11 days off between your starts when you're used to a lot less than that would really mess you up. On top of that, Stroman, who went yesterday for the Blue Jays, he was going on 8 days rest, and I was actually really worried about him. The kid's 23 years old and he's from Toronto. You don't think that's going to be a little nervous? The crowd was absolutely deafeningly loud, and the kid is 23 years old, and he hasn't pitched in 8 days. You don't think that would be a little bit nerve-wracking for him? He actually pitched really well, though, surprisingly. I also drifted the wrong way there, but whatever. Said I'd stop talking about Mario Kart. So, one of the main problems is that the manager, John Gibbons, gave them so much time off. Another big problem is that all the bats went cold. Whether that is just because every so often in baseball your offense does go cold, it is something that happens. And whether the Jays just picked a very poor time to go cold, or whether that was a direct result of Gibbons giving them all those days off, who knows? But it's just disappointing to see, because The Jays all season, they led the league. It wasn't even close for offense. They had like 980 runs scored throughout the year. The next best team was the Yankees at like 810. It seriously... Why'd I get a blooper? It seriously wasn't even a contest. It was... They were just above and beyond the best team offensively during the season. And it wasn't just the home run ball. It was small ball as well, which, if you're not into baseball terms, is hitting singles, drawing walks, doubles every so often, and you manufacture runs. You don't just hit home runs. If you get a leadoff single and draw a walk, there's no reason you shouldn't score at least one run in that inning. I mean, there's just really no all you need is a base hit the rest of the inning, and you should plate a run. The problem is that for some reason when the Jays get pressured, or not during the regular season, for some reason only since they have come back from that long layoff of after clinching the division, for some reason ever since then the Jays, whenever they get pressured, they just go into home run or bust mindset, and that's a really, really bad mindset to be in. Because the Jays are a lot better offensively than that. The Jays don't have to rely on the long ball. You can have a good offense and not hit many home runs. Just like you can have a lot of home runs and not have a very good offense. The Jays happen to have both. They had a very good offense and they hit way more home runs than anyone else in the league. And it was just a very exciting team to watch for that reason. And they just got shut down. The umpiring in Game 2, which is what I'll touch on now, the one that I actually went to, I was at Game 2. And let me tell you, hands down, I went to the one in New York where there was nothing but Canadians there. It was a fantastic game. I don't think anything will ever top just pure baseball, the game that I went to today. Yesterday, rather. It was an absolute amazing game. I'm lucky to have gone. It was 14 innings. It went to well into extra innings. And just, it was a fantastic game to be a part of, I suppose. The outcome was a little bit sad, but it wasn't the fault of anyone but the Blue Jays, which is, I guess, not the depressing part, but the part where you really just have to say you can't blame anyone but ourselves for what happened here today. I was very close to hitting that banana. I want to look up at the top screen so bad when playing this track, but I can't. That's very unfortunate that I got hit by that bomb there. Anyway, so yeah, it's disappointing because what happened was, the first few innings, like I said, the Jays had a bunch of uncharacteristic errors that would not happen. I feel like that's partly because they're just nerves, man. The crowd was absolutely unbelievably loud, and nothing but towels waving constantly. Just don't bump me, man. This game is so garbage. Anyway, a bunch of uncharacteristic errors. Thank you. And I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it, really. Like, it's just disappointing to see that a team with so much potential lets themselves drop so far out of contention just because they all want to be the hero. The Jays, after the fifth inning, did not score a run, and they had a chance to win the game. Just win the game in walk-off fashion in the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, the 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th, I guess technically. They didn't really have a chance in the 14th, though. And they blew it all. The Texas Rangers, kudos to them. They blanked us for 9 straight innings. And it's just uncharacteristic of the Jays because we barely got any base runners during that, let alone hits or home runs or anything like it. It was very disappointing to watch because while I was there, it was the most nervous and pumped up and excited and best feeling and absolutely worst feeling all at the same time. Like, I can equate it to the pressures of being like an air traffic controller, honestly. It felt terrible and awesome at the same time. For like 4 straight hours, you feel nothing but nervous but excited at the same time. And it was really, really difficult because I didn't have time to eat that morning. I didn't have anything to drink that day. And the game started at noon for some dumb reason. It ended up going till like 5:30. I was exhausted by the time the 14th came around, it was almost to the point of just end this fucking thing. And but I can respect the fact that it was probably one of the best baseball games I'll ever see, regardless of the outcome, just because of what was at stake, how good the game was, how bad the umpiring was, not just for the Jays. The Jays had a bunch of blown calls against them, including one that led to the go-ahead and winning run. But that's not what lost the game for the Blue Jays. Yes, the run that won the Texas Rangers the game should not have actually been a run because the person was out at second base. Whatever. You cannot blame the umpiring on the fact that the Jays lost because the Jays had about 20 opportunities to win the game before that ever would have become a thing in the first place. If the Jays didn't blow it in the 8th, if the Jays won it in the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, or the 12th, or the 13th, that base runner in the 14th wouldn't have mattered because there wouldn't have been a 14th. So, like, all the Torontonians in typical Toronto sports fashion, oh, we got shit on by the umpire. The umpiring was awful, but the umpiring is awful for both teams. Texas had a bunch of blown calls against them. The Jays had a bunch of blown calls against them. The umpiring is probably some of the worst I've ever seen in a baseball game. But it didn't cost the Blue Jays the win. Nobody can say that. The Jays cost the Blue Jays the win. And it's like I've said before, it's just disappointing because I've watched these guys the entire year and I know that the team is better than that. They just didn't show up to play when it really mattered. And as a fan who just wanted to see the team, at least I would be okay. You know what? We lost. But we played our best and the other team just was better than us. That's not what happened. We didn't play our best. We played amateur ball at best. And the Texas Rangers played just better baseball. And like I said, you can't be mad about that because the Jays just got outplayed. But you can be very disappointed in the fact that the Jays just didn't show up. And that's what I think pretty much every Toronto fan will say right now. Seriously, you can't be mad at what happened. You're just kind of sitting there like, what if? Why did this have to happen the way it did? It's just really saddening. And I know how the Pittsburgh Pirates feel. 2 straight years of the second best record in baseball. And just because of the division they're in, they're forced to the wild card. And they end up losing in a 1-game winner-takes-all. And that must be pretty fucking abysmal to have happen 2 years in a row. Anyway, I'm going to stop playing now. I think I've talked about the Jays enough. Not mad, just disappointed. I have a bunch of footage that I recorded at the game that I might throw up on my channel. I don't know. It's my channel. I'll do whatever the hell I want. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of The Road to 10,000. Bit of a longer one. Had some things to talk about. Not very good racing. Playing on a weird setup. I guess the next few episodes are going to be weird setup as well because I plan on sticking around my parents' place for at least a few days into reading week. But we'll see how she goes, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, I don't know, man. Hopefully the Cubbies win it all. Back to the future. Make it real. Anyway, I hope to see you guys next time. Take it easy, guys. Have a good day. See you later. Peace out.